All right, looks like we're live. Hello, everybody. Good to have you with us today. It is time for your member training. And so we want to say thank you for tuning in and participating in this. We seek to help you any way that we can. If there's a title, a topic, a concept, something that you would like our input on, we encourage you to go ahead and let us know. And we'll make a member training for that as well. Similarly, as we talk about the topic, and I'm going to turn this over to Angel here in a minute, the topic of today's lesson training is risky business, and we're going to talk about some things that kind of get in the way and how to overcome those. I want to make sure that you know that if you have a question, if you're viewing this online, if you have a question and you want me to answer that question or Angel to answer that question during the training, simply send me an email at eric@experiencepros.com. Or if you're on Facebook, you can go ahead and ping me on Facebook. I will be checking momentarily and throughout the whole thing to see if there's a way that we can answer those questions for you. So don't hesitate. We'll be here for about a half hour, so you can go ahead and send those questions to me and we'll try to answer them in a way.
Absolutely. Well, good morning. So we host the member training on the second Friday of every month. We do it at 8:30 here in the Experience Pros office, and of course host it online so anybody can come and check in. We also do record it. And the member training, a couple of ways. We just want to make sure that you're taking advantage of all of the benefits that are built into the Experience Pros Network. And there's a lot in here.
Absolutely.
And we recognize that. But we don't want you to feel overwhelmed. It's baby steps. Part of that's why it's a full annual year membership. Get you onboarded, get you plugged in, allow you to integrate it into the systems you already have in place, and give you systems if you don't have them in place. So a couple of things, just kind of housekeeping tips for our members is making sure that you have optimized your directory listing. Making sure, and if you have any questions about that, contact our office, and we have people on staff here to help you with that. But optimizing your listing is probably the most important piece, because you're going to be, when you signed up, it's not just a matter of, okay, here I'm now a member, and it just automatically turns on and all great things happen. But making sure that that listing represents you online, that proofability, making it easy for people to find you. And your directory listing is an incredible business tool. When we think about growing your business and the kind of the key elements to developing your business, this business directory allows you as a business owner to really pinpoint, where should I be focused, what should I be doing to grow my business. And so the number one thing is checking the analytics in your directory listing. And if nobody is searching for you, you're not getting a lot of traffic in the searches, nobody's really finding your listing, you're not coming up in searches, that tells us we need to work on your marketing. We need to work on your keywords. We need to work on making sure that you're findable when people are looking for you. Maybe we have the wrong keywords. Maybe we're not mentioning you enough in other domains, in other networking events, other marketing, but we're not doing enough marketing. And you can tell that immediately from your analytics and how many people are finding you on your listing. If you're getting a lot of traffic to your listing and they're not clicking through then to your website, tells us we are missing the mark on your messaging, on that strong call to action. Maybe your email address or your website isn't in the clickable part of the listing, but that tells us what we need to work on there. The call to action. Maybe we're not hitting those hot buttons. Maybe our listing really isn't that optimized, and when they get there, they're like, I'm not sure this person really has their act together. I want to do business with them and go forward. But they want your service, and so they're probably going then to your competition. So that tells us how to work on our messaging, making sure we've got that call to action, and we're dialed in on that ideal client. If they are, then you're getting a lot of traffic to your listing or to your email address. You say, okay, you know what? I got 12 people went to my website this week. My phone didn't ring. I didn't get any new clients. Tells us a little bit about our customer service and our sales process. And so you can really pinpoint where should you be focusing on as a business. I think so often we throw everything out there And okay, well, I'm marketing, I'm customer service, I'm working on my processes, but where do I really need to be focusing on? And so the directory listing is a valuable tool for you as a business owner to pinpoint and tweak today to grow your business. So make sure that that is optimized. Number 2, fan brag. Where you go, your brand follows, and we say that over and over again. Fan brag about other people on the directory. If you have people you do business with, make sure you nominate them and encourage them to become a directory member. Most companies have less than 5 online reviews on the internet. We're not talking on your website. Of course, your website has your testimonials, but Google wants to see, are you being reviewed? Are people talking about you outside of your website? Within your website, you've got complete control over what that looks like. Outside of it feels like a little bit more authentic. This is why we only allow positive online reviews on our website. Somebody can't just be having a bad day and decide to slam your business, and it happens all the time. It even happens to some of our members. You got to know we got your back. When that happens, we go to bat, we lift up, we go, and we're behind the scenes working on your behalf every single day, 24/7 on that one. We have created an environment that just allows for positivity to shine. You've all seen a negative, an online thread go negative. And once somebody starts getting all ugly and spewy and vomity, it just opens up the door for everybody else to get on that bandwagon. Even if you have something nice to say, you won't put yourself in that position. It's like you're just putting yourself in front of the bully saying, smack me. In the directory, we only allow for that environment to be uplifting and positive. And guest experts, making sure that you're out in the community speaking as a guest expert, and of course using the radio to be a guest expert on your topic. People want to know that they can come to you for the how-to, not to sell me. And so making yourself and establishing yourself in the market as a guest expert. And then of course, and I wrote belly to belly on the wall, relationships are, even online, relationships are one-on-one. So when, rather than having that mass following, anytime somebody interacts with you, this is a chance for you to follow up with them and build that relationship one-on-one. We're not talking mass emails, group messaging. Hey, if anybody is interested in, talk to people as if you are talking one-on-one to that one person and connect with those people one-on-one, and you're going to build your next clientele. So those are just kind of the quick little optimizing housekeeping for that you get to be a member of, taking value of your membership in the directory.
Love that, and welcome to the people who are joining us viewing, as well as the people who are joining us here in the office. Very nice to have you guys here. I want to reemphasize that if you have any questions, if you'd like us to deal or address anything, regardless whether it's on topic or not, go ahead and email me at eric@experiencepros.com, or drop me a little message on Facebook. I'm monitoring all of that throughout the session here, and would be happy to answer those questions. What do you do when you encounter obstacles? When the whole goal is to be able to build your business step by step to the point where people go, oh my gosh, I can't live without your service and or product. But all too often, that's not people's testimony. That's not the experience that they have. And so how do you handle objections? How do you plan to make your service or product something that they have to have? That's the question, and we've got an answer for you.
When we think about what we're selling, of course you meet people, and if they want your product, that's like the easiest one. They've heard of you, they've been referred to, you meet somebody, and it's just a perfect fit. That's the easy sale. But what about the people who don't think they need your product yet? Or there's somebody else's customer. Maybe they are using somebody else's service. And so most of our customers are either somebody else's customer right now, and so we need to sway them over, switch their behaviors, and change their habits from where they're currently buying to shopping with you, or they're not buying your product or service at all. And why would I need that? Why would I add that to what I'm doing? And so the quote today is, your job is not to sell your product, but it's to sell the outcome that your customers want. And I think we're going to talk a lot about outcome. We're going to talk about value, building trust, and serving our customers. Daryl Stern is always talking to us about benefits, benefits, benefits. What's in it for me? I found an article online from the launch coach, and he was talking about outcome. Outcome comes first, product comes last. And he says, most people, most sellers, we are, this is, comes in blue, it comes in green, I can get it to you fast, I can, I've got a full team, we're family owned and operated, and, all these little, what we call media darlings that your customer really isn't interested in the front side. Later on, that stuff can come in, but they want to know the end results. And how do you know? What do people usually search for online? Like when they're talking about, articles and blogs and YouTube videos.
How do I do this? How do I solve that problem? That's it.
It's the how-to. Yeah, headlines, product names, da-da-da. So this is how-to. So what do you how-to for your business? And what does your product or service do for the how-to? Oh, look, we've got here's some questions. How do I get my guest expert time on the air? Oh, that's a good question. Who asked that? We'll answer that. I'm going to ask these. We'll answer these questions in a little bit. How do I know what keywords to use? And how do I know how to craft my message? I don't know how to craft my message, but I know my listing isn't driving traffic, so can you help? So we will answer those 3 questions today. Those are absolutely the how-to. So 2 objections that your customers are mostly, it's either your product or it's you. And sometimes it's you, and you have to look in the mirror, and it's how you dress, it's how you approach, it's your mannerisms, it's your behaviors. If you're really quirky, you're going to attract only really quirky people. We kind of attract who we are. So think about the customer that you serve. If they're quirky, be quirky. But if they are professional, be professional. And so match, it's that building that rapport, that you look like the kind of person I want to do business with. If you're selling fitness and health and fitness products, and anywhere in the health and fitness, you should look healthy. You should have a little bit of color. You shouldn't be tired. You shouldn't look sloppy in your dress. You should look healthy if you're in the health and wellness. If you're in the financial services, anything that has to do with big dollars, you should look the part. You need to look the part. And so you could be the objection to why your customers aren't doing business with you. So here's a number of things. If we can handle the objections and we know up front, one, we can implement that into the things that we solve. If you're always giving the objection, I don't have enough time. We do things really fast and quickly and deliver. Use those words if that is one of the objections. If it's an expensive product that you've got, and by expensive, I'm talking over $5,000. Anything under $5,000 is not an expensive product. And so when you think about, now we're just talking value. Do I want to buy it from you? Do I want to part with my $100 with you? Or I'm going to part with it with somebody else? But I'm thinking that if you're under the $5,000 mark, you're not in an expensive product. They're just juggling funds at that point. It's not that they don't have it, they're just juggling funds. But if expense is a piece, this is how if you've got an over $5,000 product, when you work with us, we're going to give you a return on investment. You're going to get $10,000 worth back in your time or your services, or it's going to help you, raise your blah, blah, blah by your bottom line by, $20,000 when you work with us. So, handling those issues right up front. And so here are some customer objections that you might be dealing with. One is financial. And this is, it's the risk of overpaying or not getting the money's worth. But again, if your product is less than that $5,000 mark, it's not an expensive. It's not that we don't have the money. I just don't know if I want to spend it with you. But here's the thing. They have, especially if they're in business, and if you're B2B, that number probably is a little higher. But but seriously, if you've got $150, $1,500, $2,000, like, you don't come up with that. How do you know? I'm going to park right out front. I'm going to park a limousine. And that limousine is going to take you to the car dealership. You're going to get to pick any car you want off the lot. And we're going to take you over to Rocky Course Field today for opening day. We're going to give you the VIP treatment. And we're going to make you feel like a rock star. And at the end of the day, you get to keep that car. $3,000. Can you come up with $3,000? You bet you can. You know, whatever, I mean, if you've got something you want, then you'll buy it. So why, you know, so, and here's the thing too, when we think about dollars, people aren't as logical as you think. We will buy something we want. I want that. I might not need it. And I'm a terrible example of this, but I'm also a brilliant example of this. I walked out of the shoe store with 7 pairs of sandals. I wanted them. I did not need them. Nobody needs 7 pairs of sandals in one trip, but they were all so pretty and they were all different. And these ones were shiny and these ones are this. Yeah. So, but you know it. If there's something you want, it is not logical.
Did you say 7?
Shut up. Okay.
7 days a week.
Okay. Another objection is necessity. The risk of needing the service. Do I really need it, and will I regret buying it? And you know, if I don't need it but I really want it, totally trumps it. But we don't want to regret our decision, and so there's an element of, you know, is this going to be something I regret? And again, regret, the risk of purchasing without shopping around, making an emotional decision. This is why people will wait 24 hours. Maybe they'll seek out a spouse or a business partner. Expectations, the risk.
Sorry, that's a big one. Expectations. Sorry.
The risk of not getting what you expected, and quality, the risk of poor quality, poor performance, or poor service.
I want to go back and talk a little bit about the expectations. You went really fast through that.
I was like highlighting them. I'll let you come back.
All right. Well, the risk of expectations, not getting what you expect, is quite possibly the largest disconnect in small businesses, and we face it here. You know, we talk about it's either fortunate or unfortunate that we call ourselves the Experience Pros Radio Show. It's fortunate in the fact that we've got this great big audience, and everybody wants to know, you know, to be able to access and tap that big audience. It's unfortunate because of the great big audience, people automatically assume that if they say, this is my product and you can buy it at this phone number or whatnot, that their phone's going to ring off the hook and they're going to sell hundreds, maybe thousands of them. And so we have to set those expectations that that's just really not the way that this thing works. You can't flush one law in order to exercise an outcome that you desire. The law of know, like, and trust is still know, like, and trust. You have to build the relationship with people before they decide to do business with you. And similarly, if you are promising the world, I'll get you from A to Z in 3 easy steps, and you're not able to accommodate the variables that come with life, you know, like including sometimes you meet a customer who's just kind of a dud and doesn't work that way. You got to set your expectations so that you can achieve them. Please note, I did not say promise low and over deliver, under promise and over deliver. I didn't say that. I think that's a mistake. I think you need to set your expectations of what you know that you can consistently follow through with.
Because here's the thing. Let's say, you know, that under promise, over deliver.
That's the one.
The downside is it's not a consistent customer experience. So you say it's going to take a week to get that back to you. This time I deliver it in 5 days, and I'm getting so excited because you got it early. Well, guess what they're going to expect next time? The same thing. But I told you it would be a week. Yeah, but last time you gave it to me in 2 days, and now you've got an unhappy customer the next time. And so consistency is a key to extreme customer service, because you want to make sure that the customer gets that great experience every time, and anybody they send to you also gets that great customer experience. So everybody is the rock star, everybody is the Hollywood star, and everybody gets to feel like they're your most valuable customer, because honestly, they all are. Okay, so we're gonna do a little exercise. I want you to take out a blank piece of paper, if you've got one, or your electronic piece. But I want you to think about this for a second. What are the top reasons? And I want you to come up with 5. The top reasons a customer would say no. Either no, not now, or no, not yet, or no, not ever. What are the objections of why are customers not shopping with you right now? Got 3? You can marinate on those and come up with those, and even as you talk with customers going forward, a lot of times we'll put these in our frequently asked question section of our website. We'll address them in conversations when we're having with people. But we've been all on the phone, all been in person with somebody, and these are the objections, these are the challenges that they're having. So now you've got your top reasons. These are kind of the objections. These are the things you probably have to answer regularly. I want you to flip the piece of paper over. And on the other side, I want you to write down what your customer has to gain. What are the benefits of working with you? Why should they choose you? A lot of this has to do with positioning, how you come across. When we talk about and we address the challenges and the obstacles right up front, one thing I want you to avoid saying now is these phrases. Now, you might be thinking this is expensive, or you might be thinking this is going to take a long time, or people find that. Don't tell them that we think you have an objection. Don't voice it out loud and even put an objection that might not be in their mind. But instead, address it in, we're really fast, we can get this done on your timetable. Use the phrases of we do, not know so much that because it was an objection, just this is a value that we bring to the table. Or we used to do it that way, but people found that was too complicated, so we've changed it. People say these phrases out loud, and all you're doing is creating up that wall and giving them the element to be objected to. And so, and also we don't want to get into an argument of, well, it's going to take you 7 days, but we'll try and get it done in 5 days. Well, but it doesn't come in blue. Yeah, but green's the new hottest color. Well, but I really was hoping it would. And now we're just going back and forth in this volley. If we can handle it up front, even asking them, what are some of the objections? What are some of the things that we're solving for today? And allow them to talk about that after you've addressed it. Let them get it out. Is there anything else? How about this? Is there anything else? It doesn't come in blue. It takes too long. And you're just writing down all of the things. And what else? What else is there? What else is there? And it gives you then the chance to address them later on in the conversation that isn't argumentative, and it isn't pushy, and isn't fighting for the sale. We also have to make sure that every time we come to the table in front of a customer that we're coming from a place of abundance and not desperation. Eric says desperation has an odor, and it is stinky. And so if it's more for you, I need to make this sale, I've got a deadline, I got to hit my quota, and I really need you to buy this today, and could you make this decision today? Now the scale is tipped, and it's more in your favor versus in the customer. And so we always want it to be just slightly more tipped in the customer's favor so that it is more of a value to them and not from you. And if you're coming from a place of abundance, you're not attached to the outcome, then you make more room for that. So would you be willing to share some of the top, just a couple of reasons?
For people not to?
Not to.
Mm-hmm. It's always a money situation with my business. They don't see a value in it. They feel that they can do it all themselves, and they have unrealistic expectations.
Excellent, excellent. And I think a lot of industries, I can do it myself, do it yourself. What was it? Say that again.
Money situation,
Money.
don't see a value in it.
Uh-huh.
Feel they can do it on themselves, unrealistic expectations.
Okay.
Meaning
Excellent.
they've heard something costs X and they just don't have their ducks in a row.
Yeah, I can go to Fiverr and pay $5.
Exactly, and it's
Yeah.
like, can you get what you paid for?
Yeah. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All right, how about you, Adam? Do you have any you want to share?
Yeah, actually, I can mirror every single one of those. The something for nothing mentality is how I put it.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter. I mean, really, you know, Eric and I, when we used to do business consulting, we originally, you know, first couple of clients, we would customize our marketing and sales presentations for every client. After about 4 or 5 clients, we thought, it is all the same. It's all the same. You know, a few little nuances and tweaks, but overall, we all deal with these exact same objections. Okay, so then we flip our paper over. What are some of the things that your customer has to gain? Why shop with you, Kaylee?
They start on the right foot, they start their business on the right foot.
Okay.
Continuity from the get-go, rather than going backwards
Mhm.
and trying to fix it. Investment in themselves with a professional, gaining a partner for the future projects.
Okay.
And outside person to bounce ideas off of.
Nice. Very nice. How about you?
Desire to learn. They're motivated by seeing the results of others and wanting to replicate it. Trust you guys.
Let's address the people who are doing this at home or at work. Hopefully you went through the exercise and you did exactly the same thing. We took the time to write what you provide, and then on the backside, what are your customers' biggest objections. It's at this moment that we suggest that you buckle your seatbelts.
All right, so if their objections are, you know, I don't have enough time, I don't see the value in it, I can do it myself, or I'm not really sure I'm going to get something. And then we're coming at it from, here's the value that you're getting. You're getting a partner, you're getting, you know, continuity from the beginning, the get-go. Are what you get don't match with why they're saying no. Does that make sense? And so when we come at it from, this is the value, we've got this great group, I'm going to be there from beginning to end, but that wasn't their objection.
Right? No one's looking for Angel and Eric. That stinks.
It's kind of harsh. I mean, it's harsh for us to realize, but it's valuable because we come at it from, these are all the things we sit around and we're experts, and we're going to come alongside you, and you get me, and you get my enthusiasm, and you get my talented eye, and you get an outside perspective, and you get, that's not their objection. So we need to make sure that we are matching up their concerns. And so when we talk about their concerns, you know, using templates that make the task easier, you know, so actually, Kayla, let's go with, what was your first one?
Money situation.
The money situation. So in your values and all the things they get from you, nothing addressed the money situation. So making it affordable, how do we put this into their budget? How do we help them implement that in the beginning, that it is a value? And sometimes it isn't so much of, okay, this is what you're going to get, but I'm going to help you avoid costly mistakes. Right? You know, by doing a do-it-yourself project, you use a professional graphic designer. It elevates you above your competition. You can charge more for your products and services because you look more credible. And so coming at it from an element of, this is actually going to make you more valuable. You're going to look the part, look the walk. You're going to compete with, and you know who they're, you know, helping with your competition a little bit. You don't want to look like the cheesy do-it-yourself. I printed off my own business cards using stock Vistaprint photos because everybody can see that. You know, you hand out a stock Vistaprint card, and somebody has seen that before. You have got brand confusion. You've got brand confusion. I mean, so coming at it and making sure, I mean, if that is an issue, if that is an objection, and only you know what your objections are, come at it from, this is what it's costing you to do it yourself. This is how expensive it is. You're going to be compliant. I'm going to help you get a higher quality client, higher caliber client. You get to charge more when you bring, and so coming at it from that point, does that help? Okay,
That's actually what I would do, because I know that I anticipate them coming in with this with these situations.
Right.
If somebody told me they should do that with design. Saying the same thing over and over again, and I felt like I feel like I have to validate myself, but sometimes it's a feels like it's if people don't know what you're going to present against, you don't know.
You do, and you do. And here's the thing, even if somebody's questioning your price, that doesn't mean they don't value it. Sometimes we're just garnering information. I don't know how much this costs. I've never priced it out. And I might be a little sticker shocked. I always am. It always seems to be 2 or 3 times more than I think it's gonna be. So give me a minute to marinate on it. And so just because we question, or if we ask for a discount, or is there a deal, or can we work out some kind of thing? Because you might have that. I remember hiring an interior designer. She came in, she was painting, custom painting my home. She gave me the quote. Thought my husband was going to like Steve Roach. So asked her, is there anything we can do, to kind of keep it in this other budget? And she's like, Angel, you move the furniture, you tape it off, you do all this prep work, and I'll knock off this price. And I thought, yeah, I don't want to do that. I'll just pay for it. Mm-hmm. But I had the option. And so there's an element of, you know what? Your budget is XYZ. I'll tell you what, you come to me with all this pre-homework, and I'll knock off this part of the price. And now they get to decide, do I really want to do the pre-homework? My time's more valuable. Ka-ching, now I get it. And so there's some fun things. So the addressing of so making sure that by using you, it could help them avoid other costly mistakes down the road.
You're educating them on top of that.
And we are, and it's okay. And that conversation is sometimes very valuable. But also remember, you've got an ideal client who will value your service. And you don't want the client that is going to nickel and dime you, that you are going to be in the convincing business, that you are stretching to bring them on board. Because if they are like that in the beginning, as soon as they pay you, now you are beholden to them. So, so there's an element too of taking on the right clients, and your price, it can be a great filter for the type of client that you want to do business with. And so know that. I mean, there are times where, we bring in a client and, and it's at the base level, and they are constantly thinking, yeah, they didn't pay for that. But not their problem. If you brought them in at a discount, you brought them in at a lower price, and you agreed to that, and now you take care of that customer. You made that deal. Now live up to it. All right. So going through and making sure that your values and statements are actually matching with those objections. That helps you keep that outcome front and center. So every blog post you do, every product you sell, every time you speak in public, all those elements are outcome. This is what you're getting when you do business with us. Some solution phrases are: we offer, we match, we guarantee, we help. We do all these things for you. This is why you're doing business with them. So that's kind of our little risky business little exercise for the day, making sure that those things match up.
Last call for questions. If you've got any questions here, please submit them now. I will take care of them and answer them during the filming of this class. And are we ready to start with these? Okay.
The Q&A.
All right. So the first question is, how do I get my guest expert time or my interviews on the air? If you are a red member or a gold level member with us on the Extreme Customer Service Directory, you are afforded 1 or 2 or 3, depending on respectively which level you're at. You are afforded those interviews. And I'm going to try to do a screen share here. My computer's running a little bit slow, but I will show you where you can go in order to get your interview. It's a simple process, but you do have to go fill out a quick form. And so here we are on our screen share, I believe. And as soon as it comes up for me, I will share that. This is the homepage of the experiencepros.com website, And if you go up here to the Experience Pros radio show and hover over that, you see the drop down. That drop down offers you an opportunity to request an interview. And so requesting an interview is as easy as clicking that button, which will bring you to the next page, and this is it. And you get to choose your interview format. Now, there are 2 interview formats. We tried to make it pretty simple for you. If you want to promote your business, and as members, you get to, I'm looking at a camera that's not even on, you get to promote your business, but you got to click the button here, if you will, that says I want to promote my business. Don't be afraid of that $sign. You've already paid the money. When you click that $sign, and of course, Angel always reminds me that the page has to go to space and come back at the internet there. There's 2 options for you. I want to purchase a $600 on-air segment. You've already done that. You don't need to do that anymore. Or I am a paid member. And when you click on that, it's a simple little form that you fill out. It asks your name, your email, your phone, your website, and the questions. What topic are you going to talk about today? Now, the reason we phrase it in the forms of the title of which you're an expert is, even as you've paid for the time to promote your business, you don't want to sit there and sound like me. I call that the Toby Keith syndrome. Okay, you want to talk about me, and you don't want to do that. That doesn't make good listening. But instead, what you want to do is be an expert in your arena. Angel and I are the experts at making you look amazing, and bringing out the fact that we are talking about your business. We are going to drive traffic to your phone number, to your website, and so on. So let us do what we're the experts at, but establish yourself as the expert in this arena.
And Matt, and line it up with your topic that shows you. And so, Kaylee in graphic design, you could do a whole interview segment on logos or colors or layout or
Messaging.
all of
You
that.
bet.
And so focusing it on develops you as the expert, because a lot of what we do is educate. They're not just coming to us going, okay, make me a logo, and you're like, okay, here's a logo. There's, okay, who are you? What's your culture? What's your message? And who you're trying to reach? And there's a
How do
lot
we
of
get the right logo for you?
business training that you and mentoring that you go through with them. So you get to use this expert interview to highlight how smart you are and how fun you are to work with.
Absolutely. So fill out this form. We ask you for 4 to 6 questions. You say, well, I've got so much more that I want to talk about. Two things you need to remember. First of all, you don't have to, this isn't your only time.
No.
We're going to get you on.
You get a couple of times.
Yep.
And it's not the everything. And in fact, if you could stick to just a couple of key points, we don't want to rush. We don't squeeze it in. And don't bring me your 45-minute presentation and then say, well, I usually do this in 45 minutes. We know that.
Right.
We know, the listener knows. You got way more than 8 minutes of information to share. We get that. We're smart human beings. This is why you can always follow that up with, well, there's a blog on my website, or I
got a white
added
paper.
a listed, contact me for the rest of the list of, I'll send that to you. It's on my directory listing. There's a link. You can get the rest of the tips from here. Bring them into your sales process. And again, the radio is really an introduction into, you can continue to run a full campaign around your interview using social media, grabbing that link. Here's my guest expert segment. Here's the piece. Here are the extra little tips that we talked about. And you can use that for a full 13 weeks of promotion. It is not just a one day,
No, it's not.
one little thing.
I would like to say that as I see on this form that I'm showing you, it asks, would you like to pay for $99 fee for the MP3? If you're a red level or a gold level, that is actually included
It is included.
yours. So I'll make the adjustment to that. That should say included as a paid member of the directory. And then you just decide, do you want us to requisition that from production or not? If you do, just click yes. If you don't, click no, and we won't send it to you, and that's fine.
And what that looks like is normally you would go online and grab the whole 2-hour show. But we can, as a member, we will edit that, just your just your
segment.
segment. So
Right.
that's a really fun little clip you can post on your website and social media.
And the second question is, are you interested in advertising the Experience Pros radio show? There's a lot of people who start with us on the directory, and then they start to see some traction. Maybe they use a couple of interviews, and they thought, well, I've got an event coming up, or I've got something. Advertising on the Experience Pros radio show is not expensive. You can literally get advertising as low as $99, and we can talk to you about how and what to do, and that's $99 total.
Well, it's a 1 day.
That's correct.
It's a 1 day, $99.
That's your starting place. That's your starting place.
Not
If you want-
$99 total.
If you want a daily 30 days advertising for an entire month, by the way, we're only on the air, we're on the air 30 days a month, but we only charge for an average of 22 Monday through Friday, right? That starts at $595 a month, so it's not expensive. And then you fill out your introduction, you click send, and it's done. That's all there is to this idea of.
Yeah, Cher will get in touch with you. She'll schedule
Yep.
that with you. You have the option of coming in the studio. If you come in the studio, then you're on the webcam. But you can also do it over the phone, depending on where you are and your timing issues.
All right. The other question that I got here was, I don't know how to craft my message, but I know my listing isn't driving any traffic. Can you help? I bet you do know how to craft your message. We can help with some of the keywords and things like that. And I'll address keywords here in a minute. But you are the expert at what you do. I think in our vetting process, we've established that your customers love you. You're
selling products.
You're better at this than you think. The elephant in the room is, I know my listing isn't driving traffic. Can you help? Yes, we can help. Let's do a case study of 3 businesses. And for the benefit of the businesses, I'm not going to name them, but it's an interesting deal. I draw your attention to your screen or the big screen here in the office. Business number 1 joined in February and or actually saw traffic in February. Had 41 times they came up in a search, 279 times their listing was opened. But based on this color scale here, there were no website clicks. In March, they saw the same kind of traffic, lower. And by the way, the contest ended in February, and so they participated in the contest. Almost everybody saw significantly stronger results in February than they did in March across the boards. But there were 9 people who found them in a search, and 119 people opened their directory listing. And I can tell you that in March, this company decided to go from a free listing to a paid membership about mid-month. And so still no website clicks. Free listings didn't have any place to click to, so that was the case. Here's their April results, and of course we're only crossing over the first real week of April here. And these numbers are 3 times they've come up in a search, 32 times their website or their listing has been opened, and if you look here, there's actually 1 website click. I discovered midweek last week that this person who had optimized their listing had done everything except put their website in, and it was empty, and so no one was being able to click through. So
But as
that's
soon
1
as we
click in the
found
last
that,
week.
We fixed that.
Absolutely.
We went in and saw,
Yep.
because and this is why, and we do quarterly checks of every member's directory listing. We do quarterly checks because we want to make sure we're helping and serving you. We see how many people have never even gone to their listing, who hasn't done anything with their listing. So, the results are the results.
Right.
But when we see glaring things like that, like they're coming up,
Yeah.
people are going to, why aren't they? We troubleshoot it. We're behind the scenes helping you. We're working with you. Our goal is to help you succeed, because
Yeah.
when we all succeed, it's better for the entire group. We're not
Absolutely.
going to let you fall. So we make sure in our office we're doing those quarterly checks of your stats and your listing every year.
Clearly, this business is getting visibility. People are finding them. I think we're going to work on some keywords with this business to improve those search impressions. But this business is clearly seeing some visibility. Here's business number 2. This business is located up in Fort Collins, and again, we say they started on with a free listing at the end of January. 3 search impressions with 10 logins.
So the blue line is where people like they actually clicked to your listing.
Correct.
Okay.
They signed up in February for a membership, and they had 1 website click. They had 25 search impressions. They had 48 search impressions. Here in March, these guys actually break the rule. So many people saw reduced traffic in March, and these guys actually saw an increase in their traffic. Again, search impressions, how many people are searching for you on the directory and finding you. And this one, how many people are actually opening your listing, the blue again being the more important of all of those.
And so the reason those numbers are a little like, okay, well, only 12 people looked for me, but yet 73 people went to my listing. They're listed on all sorts of, they might be on somebody else's listing and see your featured listing next to it.
Right.
If you had a recent fan brag, if you were a popular listing. So there's a lot of other ways without them even searching for you
And also
that your listing shows up.
the metadata is pulling from the various search engines. They're finding you out on Google. They're finding you on Yahoo and Bing. And so on. And then, of course, they're April. They've had 1 website click. They've 5 impressions and 30 openings of their directory listing. This company's doing fantastic. I'd like to see some more website clicks. And again, I can tell you, my guess is that we are lacking in imagery
Or a call to action
in their content.
Or
Yep.
more value of why I should go to your website to get more information. Did I get everything I needed from the directory listing?
And that's entirely possible. This company does report business from the directory,
And so maybe so it isn't always necessary for people to actually then take that next step to go to the
No.
websites to still contact you, but you're seeing a lot of traffic
Yep.
coming to the listing. So let's talk about bringing those people into our sales process. What can we offer? What can we show off? What can we do to get your phone to ring?
Let's take a look at one more company. And this company, the graph is much smaller because the numbers are much larger. Just going to do January here. January, we've got 196 search impressions and 205 opens with 4 website clicks. February, 381 searches. They came up in a search 381 times.
So that means that 400 people were looking for that person's industry.
394 actually found them and opened their directory listing. 11 went through to the website. Here we go into March, 152 with 43 opening the listing and 3 website clicks.
It's better than a networking event.
It's way better than a networking event, but it could still be better. Again, I can tell you, just because of the volume of blue lines to yellow lines, I know for a fact that they're not telling the story. And I suggest that every time you add imagery, photos to your story, and make it personal. Make your storyline personal instead of third person. If you just copy about the about page of your website and copy and paste that into your content, you're going to get significantly less better.
But
Poor
using the special
results.
deals, and again, if your listing has everything that I need, it isn't always necessary to go to the website. I mean, I've used the listing and it's everything. I need a phone number, I need a thing. Like it could be adequate. So the actual going to the website isn't always necessary. So using those special deals, what is that next step? What can you give them? What can you entice them? And think about what naturally and organically is already happening. What gets people to call you now? What gets people to show up and visit you and email you now? too often we get caught up in, well, I want them to come in and do this thing. And you're trying to manufacture something that really isn't authentic and organic. So what is it now? So when you meet somebody in person, what is the thing that says, I gotta have your card? Create that through your listing. You can still create, even though it's not person to person, they've heard of you, they're searching for you. They're looking for what you've got. Now, let's tip them over the edge.
Absolutely.
And
Okay.
these objections, using these objection pieces in your listing is very helpful.
Absolutely. For the sake of time, I've got 2 more questions to answer. One just came in. The first one that came in earlier was, how do I know what keywords to use? That's a brilliant question. I'm happy to answer it for you. There are a lot of different ways to help you find keywords that are helpful to your industry. I found a great article on HubSpot.com that talks about this. First of all, Yahoo, Bing, Google all provide keyword search engine ability tools. So if you type in keywords into Google, it will show you the keywords tool that Google has, and same for Yahoo and Bing. Keywords designated to your top 10 blog pages. If you write a blog and you tag them with keywords, use those. Probably the best one that I've seen so far is the suggestion is to add a search bar to your site. If you have a search bar to your site, many times it's just a little magnifying glass, but if you make it more prominent, what are you searching for? Anything put into that search bar is then recorded, and then you can find out what your customers are looking for.
Yeah, even on your own site, which is kind of fabulous.
Absolutely.
And think in their language too. How do I pick a logo? How do I know what colors to use? When do I know I should use a professional designer? What are they asking for? And making sure those phrases we think of, it's just kind of just in this, people, we say we make you visible. Well, people aren't saying, visibility is not our keyword.
You're right.
I'm not looking for visibility. That's not the phrase. I want more customers. I want to get my message out. I wish more people, bought from me. The phrases that your customers would be searching for and looking for. Of course, you still want all the traditional keywords. The nice thing about the gold level is you get 100 of these keywords, so you can throw them all in there, in the keywords and in the meta tags. But even at the green level, you get 20. Use them wisely. Yeah,
at the green level, you should seriously consider if you need more keywords, the upgrade. A $300 upgrade gets you a $1,200, actually $1,400 advance. So consider putting that into your budget. And finally, got a question from Ashley, and she's asking, I have a product that is a network marketing product. Should I put the opportunity to join the business within the content of my page? Ashley, that's entirely up to you. It is part of your business model, and it's probably the largest part of your business model, because what you sell will be less valuable than, as far as income goes, than getting other people to help you sell it. That's the multi-level marketing model. So I don't discourage you from putting the opportunity in. What I do discourage is putting all of it in. That really is what you want to do, is drive people to your website,
or to call you, or
right.
to click on you.
Yeah.
It's the teaser. There's enough information that says, yes, you're the person I want to talk to. Yes, you're the person I at least want to interview and find out, are you going to be the right company for me? And so again, if, most of us have more than one element, of client we serve or product that we sell. And you don't have to put everything in there. It's like little popcorn pieces. But remember, outcome, outcome, outcome. What's in it for the customer? So the business opportunity. Why would I want to check out your business opportunity? It's more free time. It's leveraging your dollars. It's paying off, paying for summer school. You need it. And you can change this quarterly based on your campaigns.
And you should.
So, this summer, how are you going to pay for the summer vacation? How are you going to send your kid to summer school? Or how are you going to start putting, think of those things in your clientele and match your directory listing. And I tell you what, you change it quarterly and use it in your quarterly campaigns and match it up with your expert interviews and using the social media. so often our message is the same, but you do a quarterly campaign and each one is a different outcome. You've got 4 different things that you can focus on all year long. It doesn't mean that you don't sell the other things, but for the summer, summer's coming up. Can we do something different with our our design and graphics and all of that just for the summer, and do just a fun summertime campaign. If you've got an MLM and you want people to talk about business, where are we at? And we're thinking about these summertime expenses, and this could help us pay for that. So think about, again, outcome.
All right, that wraps up our time with you today. I hope this was beneficial. We call this risky business, and your mission now is.
I wanted Eric to kind of come in his little whiteies.
Nobody else did.
Nobody did.
Wouldn't that be funny though?
All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Let us know your feedback. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got questions, you're watching this after the fact, please don't hesitate to send me an email, eric@experiencepros.com. Find me on Facebook. Ask it on our Facebook page. We'll help you however you'd like. Of course, we've also got the private Facebook group for members. You can post any question there, and we will be quick to respond. Angel and Eric saying thank you for tuning in, and thanks for being a member. We love serving you.
All right. Do you have any questions, Kaylee?
No, other than some of the stuff, I mean, like the website stuff.